Legion of Creators.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
There we go. That was kind of throwing me off. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to Legions. So we got 5 people watching. All right.
Oh, wow.
Good start. Now we dropped to 4, but that's okay. All right.
Okay.
Waiting for our image to get up here. There we go. So, guys, if you can tell by the title of this stream, first of all, this is our 30th episode. So, welcome to the 30th episode of Legion of Creators. I started this series a little over a year. It's kind of crazy that we're already at 30 episodes. I mean, Kendall joined in the later tier episodes, but she's been a great asset, and I've loved everyone I've worked with. And so, as you can tell by our little title and our nice little screen, today we are going to talk about All-Star Superman. So we read All-Star Superman, and this will be our first episode of many episodes of a comic book club, where we discuss a comic that we read all together as a collective and discuss the details of the comic. So, Kenna, what did you think about All-Star Superman?
So this was my first time reading All-Star Superman, and I was aware of the comic. I knew it's one of the most popular Superman comics, especially that one panel where he saves a girl from jumping off a building. And that's really the heartbeat, one of the many heartbeats of the comics. This comic specifically. I will say, it's not my favorite story of Superman, I don't think, but I definitely do see why it is popular and is held in high regard when somebody recommends Superman comics, because it does have, I think, even though it's not the best story to me, but I do think it has the heart of what Superman is as a character. Right. So that's one of its many strong points.
Walking Dead expert Chris, our other co-host, has been busy working, and so he has not been able to join us for a while. He might come back eventually, but his schedule's really tough right now. And Luke will be joining us in a little bit. Beyond the Kai, what year of the comic? I believe this was the 2024 edition.
Well, it originally came out in 2006, but there has been...
It came out in 2006 originally, and I think it's been reprinted since.
Yeah. It's a 2006 originally. There's 12 issues of it.
Yes.
I guess what I would say is that, like I said earlier, it is like a Superman story at heart. And again, with the scene of him saving the girl from jumping off the building, is that the point of the story, it's very fast paced, but the point of the story is that Lex made a plan to slowly kill Superman with the sun, remembering correctly. And then Lex gets arrested, and he's on death row. And his plan was that him and Superman were gonna die on the same day. But then obviously it didn't work as Lex planned. So Superman, despite him dying, he still saved the day, of course, and defeated Lex. And it just shows, like, he's Superman has his self-doubts, and he's trying to spend as much time as he can with his loved ones, but not only just his family, like the Kents or Lois Lane, but even though he is scared of his mortality, he still goes out of his way to save the citizens. And I kind of read it as he sees the citizens of Metropolis and everybody on Earth as well as his family. And so even in his last moments, he still went out and, saved the day like a superhero would. And I think, again, like I said earlier, that's just like the heart of Superman as a character, is that even if he's facing such a major struggle, he doesn't let it get to him and still pushes through to save um, everybody else who may also be facing the same problem as well.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's true. I think that's perfectly well put. What would you rate this comic out of 10 if you had to rate it?
I would give it a 7. Again, I don't think it's a bad comic, and it's a good starting comic, and it's a good Superman comic. But I think just in general of the story, and it was at first I really liked how fast paced it was, because the first panel is that it goes through with Krypton exploding, him being found by um, Martha and John, and then now he's Clark Kent and being Superman in Metropolis. There was this weird point I think in the comic where the pacing kind of like stopped a bit, I suppose. This is just how I was reading it, but there's a little I mean, it's all connected, but there's like a little subplot with um, Jimmy Olsen, which is very important later on near the comic, near the end of it. But at the time I was reading that moment, I was like, okay, whatever, There, it first starts with, I really liked it how it was Clark reveals to Lois Lane that he is Superman. And then Lois Lane kind of has a hard time believing him a bit. And she thinks like he's up to something no good, right? But it's really, again, he's he's dying and he knows it. So he's trying to, spend time with Lois, and like it's her birthday, so he's like giving her gifts and stuff. And I thought it was very like, I'm like, okay, this is like a sweet but also kind of tragic moment of their relationship, because he finally revealed to Lois who he was, but that there's not much time left for them to enjoy it. But then there's a moment where time travelers, two of them, or one of them is a time traveler, but he has a friend. His name is Samson, and then the other guy's Atlas. And they do this weird thing where like they fight over Lois Lane's affection. And it was just like a little funny gag bit, and it didn't take over the entire comic. But I'm like, okay, okay, whatever,
Yeah, what's the point of this story? It's like,
yeah. The citizens of Townsville, Powerpuff Girl. Yeah. Citizens.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was funny. That's funny.
Funny. Yeah, but no, I again, like, overall, even when there was like little bits of moments in the story where I'm kind of just like, I don't care for it as much. But at the end of the day, I understand why they were added, because again, this is Superman doing what Superman does and being with people all the time, even if it's something a little goofy, Again, still a great comic. Since it was made in 2006, the artwork is it's very like, I don't know how else to describe it, but a 2006 comic book, It's not bad. I'm not trying to say that. It's just like in its time, I would say, and not as smooth, I suppose, more not as pristine as modern day comics.
Would you say trying to play around with this real quick. That's not what I wanted to do. That's weird. We'll fix that. Would you say that that there's a better Superman comic?
I can't name one specifically right now, because I this is the first Superman comic that I've really ever read fully. I just know that this Superman story is, again, just not my personal favorite yet. And again, I do understand why it is like one of the popular ones. I think the more that I delve deeper into reading more Superman comics besides the All-Star one, I'll definitely find one that is my favorite eventually.
Right. That makes sense to me. Yeah. That makes sense. I think that's a great take. I think when we read, I'm curious to see what happens. Oh, you like the Smallville comics, Beyond the Kai? Interesting. I think when we read Absolute Superman, I think that'll be interesting, because I think they're having a lot of fun with the Absolutes, and I think it'll be an interesting take to see what they do with those kind of more exaggerated, kind of very Elseworldsy stories.
Yeah, the Absolute comics are definitely being popular right now, especially with Martian Manhunter, Batman, Wonder Woman, and of course Superman.
I heard about some of the stuff with Batman's really good. I heard one of them. I'm waiting for the all. I'm waiting for that absolute Green Arrow because
Oh yeah, that's been confirmed. That will be very interesting.
I was gonna do a video about that just because I was like, in terms of comics, it's not very often that I get excited about a comic book release, but for that comic, I'm definitely gonna be very, very excited.
Yeah, it's been. I
And
think
that
it's
app, and that website we're using, I think it uploads the new comics right when they get released,
been.
so that'll be nice.
Yes, I think it's been a while since Green Arrow's gotten a comic. For a
It
while.
has been a while. It has been a while for sure. Yeah, I am. I'm not, even though I've been very vocal of loving the Superman film, as I've vocalized many times, Superman's not my favorite character. So I'm not the leading authority on Superman stories. All Star Superman is a great start to this sort of seeing Superman. And if you never knew anything about Superman, I would read All Star Superman. And it's a good, beginning comic, but I definitely wouldn't say it needs to be anything crazy.
I feel like I would argue, because they go over his origins so fast, that I think it's a good starting point if
Yes,
you're getting into comics in general. But I don't think if you really want to get to know Superman as a character, like lore wise, you should definitely read his probably other comics where they go more in depth of his Krypton
yeah.
origins.
There's obviously better stories to know Superman more, but just in general, getting into comics, I think All Star Superman is a good, like you said, a good starting off point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. Yeah. Underground. We've been using that website.
Yeah,
That's where we all read All Star Superman.
Yeah.
Any updates
So, yeah.
from Luke?
Hmm?
Did Luke send an update yet?
No, not yet.
Oh yeah.
He's getting home now soon.
Okay,
But
that's good.
I kind of want to, before we get in super deep into the comics, since Luke's not here yet, for everyone else watching, basically this comic book thing, their comic book club to be more specific. Oh, look, Luke's here.
Hello.
Oh,
Hey,
hi.
just give me one moment though, guys. I'm gonna be right back.
Oh,
I
it's
just wanted
okay.
to kind of hop in and start hearing everything.
It's okay. I'm just explaining the idea of these episodes. That's all. But anyways, yeah, so because obviously we do a lot of news talks and other movies and stuff, not to stretch ourselves out too thin, but think of these comic books episodes are our filler episodes until we get major big news, and that we'll update you what kind of comic books we're reading specifically, and you can also read it with us before every Tuesday.
Yeah. I think that hits the nail on the head a lot.
Mm-hmm. Just letting everyone catch up on what our plan is with these comic book episodes. Near the end, the Q&A, we'll discuss what next comic book we're reading. And
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, wonder what we're reading next.
And then, of course, if any new major news updates come up with another movie or TV show, DC or not DC related, obviously we'll let everyone know that this will be the episode for that. But then in the meantime, we'll be doing our little book clubs, comic book clubs.
Yeah, so I have an idea for our next episode that I'm pretty excited about. Because next week, I don't think, as much as I love what we're doing now with comics, I have a pretty good idea for our 31st episode being something on some interesting topics. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna be talking about I think next week, because a certain thing comes out next week, being Marvel Zombies. Mm-hmm. I have a plan to do a zombie episode of Legion of Creators, where it's not limited to just Marvel, but it will be zombie media in general. Because we did horror, but we didn't really do zombies as a thing. We focused more on horror.
Yeah.
And with Halloween around the corner, I thought zombies would be kind of fun.
Zombies, or we could do, because Marvel Zombies was a comic book series. We could also read.
We could read Marvel Zombies and then discuss it. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Hey, and we'll just see what goes.
Yeah, I just know it comes out next week, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to focus on it because it's a big thing coming out, and I know people are excited about it. And plus, people love zombies, so
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of mixed on them. I think sometimes they're cool, and sometimes I'm like, whatever. But
yeah,
if it's
I think it's a very popular
it is
um,
for sure.
IP with people like I know with the Call of Duty movie, people have started talking about zombies a bit more. Yes, it's a TV show released. It's kind of like a mini series Underground, or not Underground. Walking Dead Expert. It's kind of a mini series. I think they're going to release 4 episodes. I think they're doing it at once, like they did with Eyes of Wakanda. But I have to look again to be sure. But it's meant to be a mini series. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
kind of a spin-off
it's
of
an
What If,
animated show.
basically.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
a spin-off.
yeah, but it looks good. I mean, What If was horrible, but hopefully the zombies doesn't disappoint.
Yeah, I've read the Walking Dead comics Underground. And I've seen the shows. It's sad that I have to say shows plural.
I can't. Besides the game, I'm not interested in The Walking Dead as a whole IP. I think
It's
it's
just
just
not something that's interesting to you, huh?
no, not really. Especially the comics. I've seen some things from the comics, and I'm just like, what? Whatever. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just
I think it's kind of interesting because watching Demon Slayer early made me kind of think of an interesting topic of the fact that I think demons are more interesting than zombies.
yeah. Well, the way that they do demons in Demon Slayer is like the rules of how they work. I think it makes sense compared to zombies. I think of how you defeat them,
Yeah,
and they kind of treat them like vampires almost.
and I think that's cool.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. And I think vampires are more interesting too. The Walking Dead is definitely a recommended show to people. Yeah, I understand Walking Dead expert. A lot of people I'd assume had seen Walking Dead by now. But anybody that's not interested in it, they just won't watch it, and that's what happens. Some people, it's not their thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
There
It's
are
just
some brilliant acting in there. There's some great characters in that story. I recommend Walking Dead for anyone because not only is it a good survival zombie show, but I recommend it because I would think the best reason to get into it is I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan is worth the wait. And I think kind of has that Thanos presence built up to be this great big thing in an already existing zombie apocalypse. And there's other great characters there. But I think that idea is really interesting because it's like, oh wow, look, we have someone like we have Abigail is a great vampire movie from last year. I still haven't seen Abigail. Is it good?
it is.
Speaking of movies and upcoming things, I know we've talked about plans for Demon Slayer, but I was wondering, and we could probably see it after Demon Slayer, but I don't know if you, because I know you like this, I know you like a lot of Stephen King stories.
Oh, the
Um,
long walk.
are you planning on seeing The Long Walk? Because
I
I've been
want
hearing
to
really
see it.
good reviews.
I really
I
want
want to see it because it's Mark Hamill in live action in a role
yeah.
that's not Star Wars and also and he was also one thing I don't remember when we talk about horror. I forgot to mention. I know a lot of people like the classic Chucky movies. I really like the one where he voiced Chucky. I thought it was really interesting seeing him be like obviously not as good as the originals, but it was a fun little take, um, little
Yeah.
twist. But I want to see it because I've heard really good things, and I heard this movie is very relevant in the
It's
time
dark.
that we're in right
It's
now.
it's dystopian. Yeah, like it's yeah. I keep seeing clips and trailers, and I really want to go see it. Yeah.
Even Dad wanted to watch that one.
Really?
That might be a you, me, and Dad outing because, hey Melissa, welcome. Because I mean, he read the book and he's a big fan, even though he doesn't like Stephen King doing horror movies because he doesn't like the horror, gets scared.
Yeah.
Um, he enjoys stuff like that because it's a big book
Yeah.
and it's based on a lot of real events.
Yeah. I'm hoping to see that movie.
And what's really cool is they picked a great director for it because apparently the guy that did Squid Games and The Hunger Games
Oh yeah,
is the one that did it. So they definitely knew the assignment they were shooting for.
Yeah, they knew. Yeah, they were smart with who they were.
Because the idea, from what I understand, is basically you have to walk at a certain speed, and if you don't walk at that speed, you basically get killed.
It's basically, yeah, to a certain extent. It's, to be more specific, it's this twisted, from what I can tell, it's this twisted competition that the
Yep.
last person who makes the really long walk wins X amount of money. And yeah, essentially, if you don't keep up, you're a goner.
Yep. Hey, Luke, welcome back.
What's going on?
We were just talking about that we want to see the long walk.
Yeah, we were just talking about other things a bit before we delve super deep into All-Star Superman. We already made some points, but yeah, since you're here, you can start talking.
How was your early stream test?
I'm working on it. It's taking some time. I just went and got a monitor.
Oh my god, you got it.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Your chair looks more comfy.
Oh, than before?
No, than even mine. Like, it looks really comfy.
Yeah, this was funny enough, one of Asmongold's. Like, this was the chair he recommended because he had it, So I bought it for that. I was like, he sits in a chair all day.
Do you watch his stuff? Is he a creator that you're interested in?
I used to. I don't really anymore.
Yeah, didn't he kind of
gets old.
Fall off? He kind of.
I'm sure he did, but I'm sure he still has popularity too. He's just
he has popularity. There was a time where any of the grifters were doing well, and now we're in an age where it's about to change.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily call him a grifter. He's just like I don't even know what beast of another color. Like
Yeah.
Beast of another color.
Yeah,
That's a good word. That's a good word for it.
Dude,
so what do you think about Oh, go ahead.
You're fine.
So what do you think about All-Star Superman, man?
All-Star Superman's a great book, dude.
As our resident Superman guy, you must be pretty pumped to talk about this book.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
You think so?
I'm
the big Superman guy?
I think you're the big Superman guy.
I thought you were the big Superman guy.
I like the Superman movie. I'm more of a Batman guy than a Superman guy.
Oh, really? Okay.
I grew up my entire life with Batman. Every iteration of Batman. I have a bat suit. I literally went to the Batman. I still have my Patson suit. And I literally will. I kid you not. Especially with the popularity of the Batman 2, I got to do my smoky eyes again and get ready to the premiere to put the suit on. Because, dude, that'd be so funny if you and I at Comic-Con we're just like, I got the stubble going on right now, so me being Patson and you just rocking around as David Cornslut at Comic-Con. That'd be so
I would love it, dude. It would be great. I wish I could make it happen.
I carry a boombox behind me so they can just blast something in the way every time I walk in my boots.
I thought you were an Arrow guy, Joe, says Beyond the Guy.
Yeah, I am a big Green Arrow guy, too. I have costumes for both. I like Batman, but the whole thing with Batman and Superman is the whole world's finest thing. Green Arrow's probably I like Batman as a character. I think Green Arrow's probably my favorite superhero character. I think if I had to rank superhero characters for DC, Green Arrow and Batman are my top two, and then my Marvel guy is Daredevil. But for the Arrow guy, I'm obsessed. As we watched Crisis last week, I am obsessed with Arrow. Every iteration of Green Arrow has always been except for I'm not a big, even though I like Smallville, I'm not a big Justin Hartley guy. I know that's a crazy take, but I don't know. It didn't for me as a big GA fan. It didn't reach my levels of my love for GA. You don't got a goatee and he's not cracking jokes. It just I don't know. He felt too much like Hawkeye to me. Good actor.
I haven't watched it myself. I never really got into the CW stuff. It's soap operas with DC on top of it. You know what I mean?
There's some cool moments in it. I would say
no, there are. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
they do some cool stuff. I don't give it enough credit enough times, and then I see something from it. And I'm like, oh, that actually is cool. But I
think we don't want to take too many things for granted in this life right now because there's so many cool things going back to everything that you look at, and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all the cool things we're getting. We're in such a great phase as unfortunately we're not going to talk about it here, but as the world that we live in is falling apart and this horrible things are happening, disagreements are happening, the world is changing, but like also the entertainment business is changing for the better. We're seeing positive changes in the world. We're seeing positive reinforcement. That's why we needed a movie like Superman. That's why we needed a character like Superman.
Fantastic Four as well, I feel,
Yeah, I think Fantastic Four
And
fits
I
in that as
mean,
well.
Marvel needed that movie. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
They needed that movie. It's too bad that it didn't do as well as it should have. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean that's because the MCU it's fatigue and they need to fix their deal. Like they've just been
They
doing
need to do something that's going to make them more consistently loved. They need to bring out something that's going to be a banger, something that one project that just makes everybody all like, oh shit, Marvel's back. Like what? What is this?
I mean,
Like
they want that to be Doomsday Secret Wars, but
it's not going to be Doomsday and Secret Wars. There's no
what
way.
else would you even have? I mean, that's Spider-Man, I guess.
I told Kenna what they need to do in the new world that we're living with the new terms of entertainment. You know what I think they need to do?
What?
The future's not live action; it's animation. Spider-Verse proved that. Spider-Verse proved that.
Did it though, dude? Like as much as it's popular and loved, the whole reason why animation's not as popular as live action is because of the money. You know what I mean?
Dude,
And
but
like
that changed though. K-pop Demon Hunters changed that narrative. Demon Slayer changed that narrative. It's all changed the narrative now. So
I don't think
the
Americans haven't harnessed that the way that
the
they
thing
have.
is
But
that there's a lot of people in America who do want more animated things, but Luke is right. It is about the money, and animation it takes a much longer time.
That's true.
And
That
a
is
lot
true.
more money than
But-
live action sometimes.
I will also say though that like what you're saying could be like right in some regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there is a huge potential future for animation.
I think the move is to take their most popular Marvel IP, which is not an Avengers thing. It's not a Fantastic Four Secret Wars thing. We know they're going to capitalize on the X-Men moving forward, so it's time to just crank that X-Men '97 animated movie out in theaters. That's the move, because I think that X-Men right now, that franchise hasn't been tarnished, and I think that the X-Men are hot right now. You look at the characters; they've always been hot. Now they're really hot. And '97, with that second season coming around the corner, they're cooking. And so I think with that, if you prank something out like that in theaters, you'll get a big reaction. Because I don't know about you guys, if you guys watch this stuff on YouTube or not, but I did a video when '97 came out. So actually, two big things. I did a video about '97, and it was just like a character ranking of the characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in days, it had more than, I would say, 2 to 4K views within 3 days. Because people were loving it.
It was trending.
It was trending. It was hot. And then after that, and Kenna knows this because we watched the finale at this place, I got to have questions asked, and I met Jubilee from '97. Like,
Cool.
The original voice actress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I think
really
the thing about superheroes specifically is that when it comes to live action and animation is that obviously I think live action superhero movies are good on paper, obviously. And sometimes they're really good, like the Batman or Superman or Fantastic Four. But also the thing about comic books, and especially superhero comic books, because there's so many things that you can do in animation that doesn't always translate as well onto live action, that you can get away with a lot of things. And again, like, I love animation and I'll always be for animated projects, but again, the reality is that it does cost a lot of money, and also artists are also underpaid and overworked majority of the time, unfortunately.
That's true.
They
definitely need to balance that out and show more respect in that area. I just feel nothing they make live action is going to, like, they have to do something like maybe Spider-Man will bring people back because it's street level Spider-Man. It's awesome. Maybe that could happen. But if Spider-Man's awesome and then Doomsday comes out and it's cameo fest, like cameos, no substance. We'll say, right? Like, it's cool to see your favorite characters, but what if the story is like
No.
just the most horrendous googly glob like thing you could imagine,
I
right?
get that. I get that, but also I think try to make it more like, bringing up the success of K-pop, Demon Hunters on Netflix, and Demon Slayer, but more specifically K-pop, since even though it's about Korean um, culture. It is like an American made movie for the most part. So
Yeah.
the thing about Hollywood, unfortunately, is that, yeah, look at the success of this animated film, K-pop Demon Hunters. It's like it's the highest thing on Netflix right now, and then it got special weekend movie theater releases, and the movie theaters made a lot of money. But unfortunately, sometimes, or most of the time, Hollywood looks at the success of these kinds of movies, K-pop Demon Hunters, and like Barbie, for example,
Right.
and they get the message wrong. Like for Barbie, that was a huge success because even though
Yep.
we can argue it in certain aspects it's a little surface level, but I feel like it had to be for everyone else to really get. But like, it touches on feminism and also growing old and all these other themes, and it was a
Yep.
huge success. But then Hollywood goes, oh, so to make more movies and make a lot of money is make movies about toys because Barbie's a doll. And I
Yep.
feel like even though K-pop Demon Hunters is definitely going to get a sequel and I am interested in it and I still think it will be good, Hollywood will look at it and go, "Oh, we just need to make K-pop movies with no real substance,"
Well, here's the real question with the K-pop Demon Hunters, especially since we all play Rivals here. Let me throw out an idea for you guys. What if they put out something with Luna Snow?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they
Character.
did, but Luna's not my favorite character, so I don't really care. I mean, I would be interested, but
But do you think it would be successful for them? Do you think little girls would cling on to it? Do you
well,
think
it
they
would
would find?
depend. It would depend because here's the thing about K-pop Demon Hunters. But the reason why it's successful is that it's good animation, it has good characters, and it has good story, and it has catchy songs. So Marvel, if they were gonna do a project,
Could you do a K-pop movie with like either maybe like a what about like a Dazzler and Luna Snow collab or something? Would
that
that
would be interesting. But the thing is again, it would they make the movie actually like a good story with these characters, or would they just have them put together for the sake of uh, music without anything actually?
for the narrated subject for this specific subject? I'm thinking of the mind because I'm a bit more optimistic on things. I'm looking at the point of let's say they got a really good director, knows their stuff, knows what they're doing, good writers, and they're making something with a good story but also catchy songs.
Well, then yeah, that would be a success, obviously.
Because we want to see success, right? We can't live in this. The reason these grifters are now dying and have their channels shadow banned is because they've rode this grifting ride and squeezed all the money that they can get out of it. What we need to do in our life, especially with all the horrible things happening in the world right now, is to take off our shirts, flip on our Superman tees, and get ready to embrace that brighter, happier side.
Yeah.
What's that song from Guardians 2? What is it?
Mr.
Mr. Blue
Blue
Sky?
Sky.
Yeah, like kind of have that like nice feeling, upbeat,
Mr. Blue Sky.
like today I woke up like feeling, like $1,000,000, feeling good, the vibes are good. And and yesterday I had a really good day, streaming Rivals, talking to a lot of new people, making new friends, making new connections. When you left, Luke, I got multiple comp wins. Which is crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
compliments like how? Playing?
No, like I played comp and I won multiple matches.
Oh.
Yeah. But yes, I got compliments too. Like I made new friends and they
But
were
I made compliments as well.
yeah.
I love it.
It was a bonus. Like I've been like my views lately the last couple days have been going crazy. Like I've just been getting I put out 2 videos, I'm getting comments on my videos,
I love it.
I'm getting engagement, and I'm getting people I've seen people what's it called? I saw people engage with me. Like a lot of new people I've met that have joined my channel have joined just from streaming, and it's been really cool.
That's
seeing
awesome.
people like we've been hanging out. Like, oh, I want to follow your channel, so I know when you're live and we can play and stuff. And it's so cool. And the banter we had, like, just it's awesome.
Sure, it builds up, and everything builds onto itself and onto other stuff you do, and yeah, man, I'm about to try to even get that going even more because I'm gonna be
I'm
streaming
excited to see
myself
that. I'm
again,
excited to
dude.
see you stream again. I can't wait to see you make videos. I think you have a lot to say, and I as your friend will definitely watch your content because I'll be interested to see what you have to say on different topics and stuff. Because
Sure,
I'm interested.
appreciate you.
Of course, Superman and Fantastic Four comes at the right place and the right time. Yeah, it really did. I mean, it really came at a great moment. And I think one of the cool things about doing these comic episodes is like there's so many cool comics we can read. And like you think of jumping off point for comics. All Star Superman is a great place to start because Superman's hot right now, and getting a story that has an animated film that's also hot. If you guys have seen it, it's pretty good. I think it's a good comic. I think it's a great waste. If you like Superman, you haven't read All Star Superman, definitely read it. If you're just trying to get into comics, and maybe you're trying just comics in general, I think it's a good place to start reading.
And this just happens to be one of those books that is popular enough that it has an animated version. So if reading really isn't your thing, you can always watch All Star Superman as well.
Yeah, and I think I've seen the movie. I think the movie's a pretty faithful adaptation.
It's very faithful. Actually, I can't remember exactly what's missing from it, but I do believe there's like a few, like 2 or 3 little parts that are missing from the animated version. But it's incredibly accurate compared, for an adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's always good when we are seeing more animated adaptations for films based off comics that I think are really cool. Like some of these animated adaptations from the comics have been pretty good. The only exception I would say would be Killing Joke, but
even Killing Joke is actually really accurate, except for
that one scene. Yeah,
right. Like the added.
Everything else is pretty accurate. Yeah, I think it's just that one scene that really pissed people off.
Right. It's like, why did you put this in here when it was so good? Like
you ruined one of the greatest comic book storylines.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And it's like, why? What are you doing? Isn't that Paul Dini?
Yeah, it's that Paul Dini.
I
love how your background, how you got like a Superman curtain back there.
Yeah, man, we're ready to go, bro.
Yeah,
There's
man.
some Kurt Connors stuff though.
That's so cool. So what is something? So kind of shared her thoughts.
Wait, Kurt Connors? That's not right, is it?
Kurt Connors. Dang, we talking about the lizard?
Yeah, I'm like, what am I saying?
What's the lizard doing?
Who's the kid with the John? Who is it? John Connors? Who's the?
Oh yeah, from Terminator. You thinking John Connor?
Oh my god, I'm jumping all over IPs. See, that's where you said I'm the Superman guy, and I'm over here like, am I? Because as much as I like Superman, I don't know a ton about Superman.
Are you talking about a Superman like character? Yeah.
Yeah, Connor, right?
Yeah.
Connor Kent. Yeah.
Yeah, Connor. Yeah, I knew what I was talking about. Come on.
Yeah, honestly, I thought you might be a Superman guy, but I think your biggest thing right now, honestly, is you're the alien guy now.
I am the alien guy. There's no doubt about that, dude.
Honestly, I'm surprised there isn't like a Predator statue in there, just like kind of hanging out, like in the background.
Well, it would be more alien.
An alien egg.
Yeah, an alien.
Yeah, an alien egg.
Just
Yeah, you're gonna have an alien.
Facehugger breaks out like halfway through the episode.
There's no xenomorph standee in there, just kind of chilling by your desk.
I know. I should get a xenomorph, huh?
Yeah, there's like drool coming from the ceiling of your. You're like,
imagine that just hanging up on the ceiling. What's going on?
It's like, oh.
We should do a big alien episode for the finale week. I would like that.
Yeah,
when we catch up on it, we can do that.
Yeah,
I'll try to plan it. I was talking to Kenna. I want the next episode to do because the next big hot topic next week. Hot topic. That's the story. That's funny. I want to do zombies next week, or specifically Marvel zombies.
Yeah, I was hearing you say that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. We could do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
we could throw.
I think it's gonna be hot next week. I mean,
We could.
it's an animated project. It's Marvel Zombies comes out next week, I believe. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we could watch that and talk about that. We could
we can
grab
do that.
like a few uh books, like a
Yeah,
few
there's some
I
good
was
Marvel.
saying we should
issues,
read the
like
comic.
key issues from the Marvel Zombies line, because it's really big. I have an omnibus of Marvel Zombies. It's just like stacked of just like there's so many different tie-ins
Yeah,
and this and that.
I saw some cool stuff. They've been releasing clips and stuff, and I saw Icarus and Captain Marvel, but she's got like the gold shoulder costume from the first Captain Marvel movie, not the stuff they put her out in Endgame and stuff. So she looks pretty cool. I like some of the animation stuff they got going on, and I liked in the trailer they put out the other day that Spider-Man's got Stormbreaker
Yeah,
trying
no,
to take
that's
on
cool.
zombie Thanos.
And then I mean, I don't really have many other zombie things I'm into. Like I never really read The Walking Dead and I never watched The Walking Dead. So
Right.
I won't be able to talk about that. But
No, I didn't say zombies in general. I wanted to keep it specifically Marvel zombies because I think that makes it more. That's gonna be the focus because that's the thing that we know is going to be talked about.
sure. No,
I
that
think
makes
Marvel zombies is really cool. I think the idea of it, and I think how Marvel has approached it, and I think the fact I do wish that they didn't use the what if animation, but I do know that they set that up in what if, so I guess it works.
yeah. I mean, hey, do what you got. Take what you can get, kind of sometimes, Like, all right,
True, that's
thanks,
fair.
Marvel.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, since we've been talking about like Superman, like All Star Superman and stuff, what are you guys hoping? With since we didn't really cover this on one of our previous shows, what are you guys? How are you guys feeling about this Man of Tomorrow plan right now? It's kind of a sequel, not a sequel, but is a sequel. Like kind of weird
It's
situation.
so I haven't really known what the full deal is because I remember hearing like this was going to be a Superman family movie that was going to be a sequel, but now it's literally called Superman Man of Tomorrow.
So it's not
So
called Superman. It's just called Man of Tomorrow. They
just
took
Man of Tomorrow.
yes, because it
Okay,
kind of
but
James Gunn kind of wants it to be vague, where it sounds more like it's Lex Luthor's movie, but Superman's still in it.
okay, so Lex is a big part of this movie as well then.
Yes. So the whole idea is that when they shared the Jim Lee artwork, it was the idea of them having a reluctantly team up against against a bigger foe, which they haven't revealed yet, but I think is probably going to be Brainiac. But so I think that the ideas they showed in the artwork that Lex is going to have his battle suit.
It's going to be
Like,
Parasite, dude.
you think it's going to be Parasite? You think they'll do the actual Man of Tomorrow storyline?
Yeah.
They definitely have enough characters to do it because we already heard that there's going to have like Green Lantern in there. They're going to have I heard Supergirl might be in there.
And I mean, here's the other thing is like, don't hold it to be completely accurate because that's just not going to happen. You're
Well, I'll tell
always
you
going
what's
to
going to
get
make it not
slight
accurate
differences.
I'll tell you what's going to make it not accurate. There's a big surprise character that's been talked about that's going to be in it, which is why all the hype for Peacemaker is happening right now. Peacemaker's going to be in that thing now too, right, Luke?
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised?
No. We'll see what happens with this season. Anything could happen, I feel like, and I would be okay with it. The writing is just so good in Peacemaker. It's just like
I'm so amped.
take
for this
me
episode.
wherever you want to go. Like I'm here
Did
for
you
it.
finally finish episode 4 yet?
No. So when you guys talk about 4 at the end, I'll dip because I'm going to do a double feature when the new
I didn't
episode
plan to
comes
talk
out.
about it. I didn't plan to talk about it today.
All right, if you don't want to.
I have my review out. We've talked about it already. I just think it's pretty cool. And yeah, Superman in general. I think this sounds like really promising updates we're getting for Superman. I'm still waiting for my Superman game.
Yeah, we all are. I wish, dude. And I really think Superman Returns is slept on. I think it's a pretty good game,
They
actually.
should remaster it, man. If they remaster it, I think
I'd
more
be
people
okay
play
with
it.
it. And then people see hey, this game was pretty good. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be there
you
for it.
fix it up, polish it up a little bit. Oh, even though this is a mostly DC circuit because we're talking about Superman, I told Kenneth some news that I think you'll be pretty pumped about, Luke. I got confirmation today that Rivals news, Daredevil's coming October 10th.
Ooh. Oh, let's go. Less than a month. I love it. Yeah,
Yes,
because you know
sir.
what happens a lot of times is they're like, hey, it's going to be like the day before the end
Well,
of
you
the month.
can't do this
next
Angels and
month.
Demons storyline and not bring out Daredevil as soon as possible because.
I love it.
And I
I'm
think in
here for
general,
it.
on the topic of Daredevil, I think October, and I'm working on a video about this. I think October is going to be the month of Daredevil, not just for Rivals, but I've been hearing some interesting things about New York Comic Con right now, and I heard Mike Coulter, Christian Ritter, John Bernthal, and Tom Holland are doing it. So Tom Holland and John Bernthal are doing press for Spider-Man. They're doing Sony stuff, but then there's a regular Marvel Studios panel there, and it's Charlie, Christian Ritter, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Mike Coulter.
Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds like you're going to get some big Daredevil news. That's.
We'll probably get our first trailer there, I think.
I feel
I think they
like,
start promoting it.
isn't there a way to get like, there's got to be a workaround to get Kingpin in this whole thing? Because, like, I know that's part of why they can't do it is the rights are all like.
Oh, for the Spider-Man thing, yeah.
Yeah, they're all mixed up, and it's like, why you'll never see, what's his name that plays
Oh, yeah, Fisk,
Kingpin?
yeah.
I don't want to say
Exactly.
his name wrong. So
Yeah, so it's Fisk, Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio, playing him.
Vincent D'Onofrio, right?
Yeah. He they say that there's some workarounds with it. I think they're trying to figure it out. So I think that will be pretty interesting to see. I think they can do it. I mean, people want to see Kingpin and Spider-Man throw down. They want to see Spider-Man driving them crazy. Kiddo a month, let's go. Yeah, I know, Melissa. It's kind of crazy. My
I guess
favorite
I'll
Marvel character is going to get a big focus month. It's pretty awesome.
I'll finally have to watch the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. I've still never seen.
It's not as bad. It's
I
not
watched
Charlie Cox level.
I actually
But
liked
it's
it.
pretty entertaining. If you watch it for any reason, watch for Colin Farrell.
Right.
And of course Jennifer Gardner, because Jennifer Gardner's great. But I do think Ben Affleck does a pretty good job for what it is. I liked even though it's not Vincent D'Onofrio, I do like the Kingpin in that movie. Even though he's black, it's still cool.
Really?
It's a cool
Race
take on.
swapping back then, huh?
Yeah. It was
I
crazy.
don't
Other
remember
than
Kingpin.
animation, that was the only. Other than animation, that was the first live action Kingpin I saw. So I was like, dude, that's kind of lit. It's kind of cool.
I remember Bullseye being in it.
Yeah, Bullseye's
Yeah,
Colin
that's
Farrell.
Colin
Oh,
Farrell.
yeah, I thought he was good. I don't remember Kingpin in that movie at all. I only remember
Well,
Bullseye.
because he's used in the movie to set up the tension between Matt and him, and then they have a big fight in the end of the movie.
It's been like I think I watched that movie 5 years ago.
They basically pull a ludicrous get back and just and then there's another one. They just start going kicking the shit out of each other.
That's very much the time right there, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, it's very, very 2000, early 2000s.
Old Marvel was kind of underrated, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, some of the old Marvel was kind of ballsy.
Spider-Man, dude. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, the early X-Men stuff, and then
Oh yeah, I need to rewatch those. I haven't watched those since they were in
what
the
movie gets
theater,
slept
man.
on that I don't understand why it gets slept on nowadays, and I'm craving for this character in Rivals. That first Ghost Rider movie is just so good.
You love it?
I do.
It's a little corny. But that's part of what makes it so good, right?
Yeah, no, it's just like I'm not looking at it like Scorsese like level. I'm just saying it's for what Ghost Rider is. It's freaking good. like when you look at it's dark. They bring in Blackheart in there. The lore is sick. Even though they don't do what they're doing in Ironheart with Mephisto, they do a pretty dang good take on Mephisto. The dude's scary. He's got kind of that Palpatine vibe of the dude looks trusting, but he's not trusting, and just like, oh, it's good.
Yeah, no,
And
it's an entertaining movie. Yeah,
the effects back then, I still like Nicolas Cage, his accent when he's talking to his friend when he's when his friend's harassing him about why he doesn't drink, and he just pulls a giant like bull, like I think it's like a wine glass of candy, and he's like watching cartoons, and he's like, alcohol gives me nightmares. like he
I
just like,
don't remember that at all.
oh dude, it's classic, man. It's classic
I
stuff.
never saw the second one either.
Spirit of Vengeance is an underrated sequel. I think in some ways, well, it didn't do as well at the box office. I think in some ways it's better than the first movie because you have Idris Elba in there before he was in Thor, and that was kind of
really?
could. Mr.
I didn't even know
Bloodsport
that.
himself, DC. He played a cool character in there. There's kind of an interesting bond between Ghost Rider and a kid in that movie, and much like the title of the movie, The Spirit of Vengeance, that part of the comics comes true, where they build up if they were going to do a third movie that there really is like the Spirit of Vengeance really comes out. Like you really get to see, and there's funny gags in there. Like there's a scene where like the kid asks Ghost Rider why he's how he goes to the bathroom, and it just shows him like on like literally pissing, and there's fire everywhere. It just
I feel like
it's
I
enter-
kind of remember that. I feel like
There's
that was
also
in a
a
trailer.
There's also a scene where the guy shoots him with an Uzi, and then he just spits the bullets out back in his face. Oh, it's good. There's some good gags in there, some cool moments, crazy stuff. Yeah, I mean, I
That
think
reminds me of Superman Returns when he gets shot in the eye with the bullet. It's in
all
slow
the
motion,
iconic.
and
Yes,
yeah,
Returns
dude.
has some. I know Kenna has some choice words about Superman Returns, but
Yeah, I mean,
I just thought it was.
boring.
I don't know. Like I just, yeah. To keep it short, I just thought it was a little. It was a little too much going on. That
yeah,
it
that's fair.
made me lose interest in that specific movie. But it's not the worst, you know. I've
I love
definitely.
that James Marsden is in that movie.
Huh?
I
Oh
love that
yeah,
James Marsden is in that movie.
no,
I
yeah,
think that's
James
weird.
Marsden. I didn't know he was in there. I was like, oh my god, it's James. I love
Oh, were
James.
you playing Marvel Rivals the other day when we had that funny Sonic moment with me and Jake? Where we were playing and we had a guy named Donut Lord.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
so James Marsden was playing with us. We're like, what? What's going on?
yeah. I remember.
I can't believe someone actually named themselves Donut Lord playing Rivals or just
Oh,
whatever they wanted
I'm
to
not
do.
surprised. Donut Lord is much worse than Donut Lord on there.
Hmm.
I'm sure. I'm sure it could be way worse. No, it's entertaining. Like, you see these things, you see entertainment. Yeah, I think we're in a really cool place right now because there's a lot of cool stuff to look forward to, and with Superman, I think it was like a really good time for Superman to be. He's been popular before, but I think it's been like a time to have him be more popular again because I feel that people have had some tainted images of what they see Superman as and different opinions. And now we're kind of seeing a new, fresh take that feels more accurate to what we all see Superman as.
Right.
And I think that that's really cool. And I think with the inspiration with different takes, I feel like something like All Star Superman kind of breathes life into the concept of hope and the idea of, like Kenna says, the essence of Superman and the
Yeah,
vibe.
the heart. The
I
heart.
agree.
I said earlier before you joined, Luke, is that this comic, I don't think it's my favorite Superman story in general, but again, I do see why it is popular and why it's held in such regard because I clearly see that because of what the story is, it's very, what Superman would do and how he would actually act in the situation. And, just like what Superman is, like what kind of man that he is. So
Yeah.
again, like even though I don't personally, I don't think it's bad. It's just not my favorite
Sure.
so far. So, but again, I still, I still think it's a good, like it's a good representation of Superman. I would say.
Yeah. No, I think so. I think like Joe was saying, like the feeling of hope. I think you get that even though it's also dealing with the idea of the death of Superman.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like it is still like that's how much of a hopeful character Superman is, essentially. You know what I mean? Like that even in the most dire of situations like this is still what you get out of him. And while I don't think it's a lot of people's favorites, I think it's one of those things that is just so monumentally correct
Right.
in how it's written
Mhm.
that it is an important part of Superman's story, whether it's big for you or not. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that's why it's so popular because, like, I had heard you say that already a little bit, and I actually found somebody on Reddit saying kind of the same thing. And it was like somebody explained to me like why this is so popular because I've read it like 4 times and I just don't
Just don't
like
get it. Yeah.
right like and they're like I like it's not that I don't like it, it's good to me, you know what I mean, but it's just like I don't understand why it's so popular, and they go on to talk about how it's like just a bunch of like 70s like silver age style like stories like kind of thrown together a little bit, you know what I mean, and I at the same time I think it does a good job of just bringing forth that like hopeful nature of Superman. And that's really all it is. I really think that is like because it's the part where he's like with the talking down like the
The girl.
unaliving yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there and then so on such a small scale compared to what Superman normally does, and I think that touches on such an important part of who his character is, and I think James Gunn even shows that in similar aspects, but not as like serious of ones, where it's like that's obviously like existential, like life crisis type of moment for
Mortality.
somebody,
Yeah.
right? Compared to like saving a squirrel or
Mhm.
the little girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but like he still takes the time to show that side of Superman. It's just we're seeing a young version of Superman rather than what this is, where it's like you have the history of his whole life behind him, and you also like this is a different version. It's like your classic version of Superman where Lois didn't even know. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And he finally decides to tell Lois, and it's like you get that
I
side
still
of
think
it.
that's wild. That's so wild that that's a
Right?
thing.
That is wild to think about. And it's like we're so used to that not being the thing, but like there's a serious romanticism to Superman's story that I think is kind of forgotten. Like we just don't it's not that modern version.
Yeah.
As much as there is the very like a romantic side to Superman, like there was a very old school
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that Captain America and
Like, yeah.
Peggy Carter type of like old school romance. Like Superman rocked that for a long time, and for me, like when I was starting to get into Superman back in the day, one of the things that got me into him instead of just like, oh, it's such a powerful character, oh, like he does all these like cool adventurous things, and like that's why I
Mhm.
want to get into him. It was actually a part with him and Lois, and it was like just more about like how much harder it is to just be like a good man in the hardest of situations. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that's part of what really makes him Superman, not all this other stuff that he can do. You know what I mean? Like for me, I don't know. There's just times where I feel his character can be written very poetically.
Mhm.
I agree. I think that's very, very
Right. And
accurate.
so can
I'll let
Batman.
you guys
So
chat for a
can
minute. I
Batman.
gotta
I
run to the restroom real quick, but you guys keep talking.
I
Sure.
I wanted to talk about what I liked about this, like going off what you said about Lois and Superman. What I really liked about this was like obviously he finally tells her that he's Superman because of he wants to spend time with his loved ones as like much as he can, and obviously Lois is included in that. But even though he doesn't reveal right like doesn't tell her that he's dying, it's more of she does bring up the fact of like in the case even if Superman wasn't dying, the his Krypton biology with her basic human one is like he would they talk about the conversation of like he would outlive her, or he wouldn't age, or he would age slowly compared to her, and that they couldn't have kids either, possibly, or they would have a hard time conceiving. Um, because of their such different DNA. But then Superman was like, I don't care. I still want to be with you. Like, I love you. Like, it again, just pushing against the odds for what he believes in and what he also wants. And also, my thing is that I've always was aware of All Star Superman and the scene. Like, I've seen so much videos about that one scene where he's talking down the girl Reagan from jumping off the building. And like, I always thought, yeah, that's a nice scene. Like, obviously, of course, Superman would do that. But then when I actually read the comic, and like now I understand like the full context of it, is like it's very sweet. Again, knowing that Superman, he knows that he's dying, and even he at times, or in the beginning, he even had kind of had like self doubts, or like he was still processing his mortality of like, oh, how much do I have left, while also dealing with Lex Luthor. But he still went out of his way to just be, Superman, and save these people and talk down someone who at first was suicidal, but talked her from doing it. And even though he was dying, he still went out of his way again to save people in different ways, not just the typical superhero flying in, just
Right.
small moments like that.
Sometimes the smallest details really show us the biggest things, and that like it just shows how important life is to Superman,
Mm-hmm.
like literally that it doesn't matter how like small scale it is, I guess, in comparison to saving the world or the universe, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But anything like down to the squirrel, down to the
Yeah.
squirrel, and I
I
really
love.
think James Gunn killed it with that little
Yeah,
like
me
it's
too.
a little scene that shows a lot,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I think
little
it's not
details are.
always about telling people. Movies and TV shows and animation, they're about showing you. And
Yeah,
if you can tell your story through showing us, it's going to impact us a lot heavier. Like sometimes it's like, oh, you didn't notice, but your brain did. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's like when you go back, it's like reprocess it. It's like, why did I like feel this way? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, it's just, I think that's where you come into beautiful storytelling. And rather than, and as much as you can enjoy the MCU and everything, I think they have a very bad habit of force feeding you
Mm-hmm.
what they want you to get out of things.
Yeah.
that's
You
why I
know?
think that Fantastic Four is a great example of something different because
Yeah,
you really feel like they actually made a movie, and it felt like it was really for that time period. You really could feel some of the stuff that felt very relevant and
I
for that
agree.
time. And I think that
I,
they killed it with what
I
they
think that's
made.
part of why, and this is jumping into Fantastic Four first steps, but why
I
they
feel like we
didn't
should
show off
read
the
Fantastic Four
superpowers.
next.
Why they didn't use the powers as much? It's like it's part of the immersiveness of the '60s like thing they were going for. Of like, here's the cartoon. It's a more zany version of us than we really are. We're
Mm-hmm.
more realistic than like how the public likes to portray us. And in reality, a lot of times that would be kind of how that would go. Where it's like,
Right.
yeah, we're not really as crazy as they make us out to be. We don't really use like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that made more sense. Where it's like Alien, here we, and yeah, I'm gonna try my best to relate everything back to Alien. Um, like an Alien, part of what made it so horrific when it first came out was like it was a logical horror story, and you didn't have those really. Like maybe Psycho, like it was very rare that you had like, and that's part of what made people like when the alien bursts out the chest in the very first movie is part of what like freaks people out. So it's not only a gross scene and everything, but it's like it's realistic in a way. It's like, yeah, an alien literally could burrow in us and like break out. Like a lot of it makes sense and it's very logical, and that's part of what gets you even on a deeper level is like when it plays in your brain, you know. So
Yeah.
I think it's a
No,
similar case
that's a good
where
point. mean,
it's not
that's
as dramatic as that, you know what I mean? But like, I think part of what, fantastic, they didn't really use their powers all that much, blah blah. I think that plays into exactly the kind of story that they're trying to tell,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think that deserves credit personally.
I think it's just really important that they built a movie. I know one of the criticisms of the early 2000s one was that some people felt that the origin story was boring. But what I really liked about this movie was, even though they didn't go back to the origin story, I liked how, and I don't know if anyone's ever talked about this aspect of the movie, other than like most critics, but this movie didn't feel to me like it was a superhero movie where superheroes are like, yes, there's heroes saving the day and doing what heroes do, but it felt like this movie was made on the idea of scientists doing heroic things, not just the superheroing was happening, but it's not like, oh, this person is a hero already or doing this. It's and inspiring to be a hero. It's they're a family, but also they're a family of scientists, and so it was handled more intelligently and more
That's a
more
good point.
interesting.
I like that,
That's
because
the thing I've been
they
thinking
really
about.
did nail that, and I think Marvel's done a bad job at doing the whole scientist thing when that's one of Marvel's biggest things.
Yeah, they
you
love
know,
scientists in the comics, but
yeah, it was all about like all these super smart scientists, and it's like we haven't really portrayed that well at all in the
Mhm.
MCU. Like maybe a little bit, but not even really with Tony Stark because he's not really a scientist.
No.
Like he's a weapons
He likes
manufacturer.
to make fun. He likes to make fun of all the scientists.
Yeah, and he's brilliant, and he's he's a genius, and he's a tech. Like
They've done some smart things with, I think, Banner, but nothing crazy.
yeah, dude, they don't take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Like even
Mhm.
Spider-Man, they finally started to show it a little bit in Spider-Man 3, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Here's Peter like actually doing some stuff, but
hmm
Spider-Man 3,
I
and then
think
they
Reed really was the closest we've ever gotten to like really showing what it's
oh
like
yeah,
to be a
oh yeah,
scientist.
and I would
And I
love to
will
see
sing.
more like
I will
Professor Bruce
sing.
Banner and like real
Yeah,
Hulk. Give us real Hulk back. How about
yeah.
like Bruce does a wild experiment and he makes it like so Hulk's even stronger and he can't control him all over again, and then you get like maybe your World War Hulk storyline a little bit. I don't know.
Well, something's gonna make him rampage in Spider-Man. So we're gonna have to see what happens. We ain't getting Smart Hulk in Spider-Man. That much has been confirmed.
Yeah, no more Smart Hulk, please.
Yeah,
I
no.
think
Nope.
we're all
We-
done with Smart Hulk.
We're getting raging. We're getting raging Hulk. Not Hulk takes selfie with kids. Hulk.
I also really love the way that All Star Superman starts up.
Oh yeah, I liked
Man,
it too.
yeah, right
Yeah.
into the action, right
Yeah.
into like it's like very well
I liked
done.
how fast paced it was. Kind
Oh
of.
yeah,
For a comic book to be
well
fast
paced.
paced is pretty cool. I like that the comic book. I like when comic books get that fast paced feeling.
It just depends on the story. Sometimes it's best to slow down a bit, or sometimes
Sometimes you can slow burn it. And I think slow burn stories can be effective and they can work and they are really, really good. What's a comic series that you guys are looking forward to mostly reading in this kind of set of comic book clubs? Like, what's something? It doesn't necessarily have to be a character. Is there a storyline or character that you're most excited to read about?
I really want to get more into Zatanna
Okay.
comic. She's actually
Let's go
currently
that.
having one right now. I think that's being really popular right now. It's not like absolute, but it's a different comic. Like she has one going on right now, and I keep seeing things about it. But like,
I'd like to read the run where she's connected to Constantine and
Right.
Doctor Fate.
mhm. Yeah, any of her comics, I'm interested in.
Those are all good
I'm-
characters right there. Like Constantine, Doctor Fate,
Mhm.
Zatanna, anything in that magical realm. Always
read-
DC, very interesting, very cool characters.
I want to read some Wildcat stuff.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that too. Wildcat. I
Yeah,
don't know much
well-
about Wildcat at all, and he's like
Yeah,
old school.
Wildcat's on my priority list, and I'd like to read more stuff about like
You know,
Batman has different teams in the comics, like the Outsiders. Hey, Brandon, be cool to read
oh
about
yeah,
the
Sure. Yeah. No. When
I'd
I
like-
listen to Comic Conspiracy and stuff, like they
Yeah.
love The Outsiders like so much.
Yeah, I think that'd
Talk
be
about it
pretty
all the
cool.
time.
I'd
But,
like to read about what's it called? I'd like to read a bit more about the Justice Society of America with everything kind of happening with the Justice Gang,
Sure.
going
Sure.
back in the past and kind of seeing
I
the
would
old.
be down to read everything in reality. I love comic books so much.
I think
But
that's definitely true, Brandon. How you doing, Brandon?
Animal Man. I'd love to get into
Animal Man
Animal
would be
Man a bit.
cool.
Uh,
Oh,
it's-
I remember what I was going to tell you guys. I had another exciting announcement for you guys about Marvel Rivals to mention to you that that you guys would be pretty excited about. You guys are talking about how you guys like your supernatural characters, right?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
heard Elsa Bloodstone is an upcoming character.
Oh yeah, I keep seeing her too. Also,
Oh, you were hearing about that too, Kenna?
yeah. She's
I
like
saw
a,
something about her recently in the files, and I was like, "That's interesting."
Who is she again?
she's. I actually don't really know her that well. Again, it kind of like.
So if you want to see her, you gotta pay attention to Werewolf by Night because she's a Midnight Sun. But
Oh,
she's
I
interesting.
still gotta watch that. I still gotta watch.
I think you guys will like Werewolf by Night because it's not your typical Marvel thing.
The funny thing
I
is that
think we should do a watch party for it on Halloween, honestly, or the week of Halloween. So I think that would be really fun.
the thing is that I know that I'm gonna like it. Like I know that it's totally something up my alley where I'm like, it's comic book adaptation, but it's something a little scary.
And it's white and black, like it's horror movie.
I haven't
Like
done it yet. I don't know why. I don't know what's stopping me. It's just
you'll love it. Like you'll sing the praises of it. You're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, why are we not getting more of this? More of that, please. Thank you." Like you're gonna watch that. You're like, "When's the Midnight Sun coming to the Marvel universe? Like, how long do I have to wait?"
yeah, be like more.
I loved it. I
Well,
was
once
like,
I actually watch it.
"Oh yeah, I did hear about that, Brandon. Did you hear that actor Robert Redford, who played Secretary Alexander Pierce in Captain America: Winter Soldier, passed? Yeah, I heard that happened today, man. It's pretty sad, pretty tragic. So one of the villains of Winter Soldier passed away today.
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's sad.
It's tragic. I'm glad you're doing good, Brandon. Yeah, I think there's some cool. Speaking of comic stuff, the other thing I was going to tell you was James Gunn said recently that he's pretty sure. I think it was one of the Peacemaker podcasts. He flat out told people and his friends that he believes that Green Lantern would whoop Superman's ass. And I thought that was
Well,
interesting.
I don't think he did. He say that he said he wouldn't get his ass beat. I thought is what he said, right? Because he could put up a fight. Wasn't that what he said? Wasn't
He's kind of alluded to that he thinks he'd whoop his ass.
yeah?
Yeah. Which makes sense considering the first in Superman we wanted those two to stare down. I don't know. I think Gardner might be able to take him because
Gardner?
See, it's more believable if it was like maybe Jon Stewart.
I think Jon Stewart can definitely take him. I think Jon Stewart can definitely take him. I think Hal Jordan can take him.
Guy needs to get his ass beat, and then like another Green Lantern shows up and actually beats him. I'd love that. Like a guy has to be humbled.
What would probably happen, which would be accurate considering they're like bros in the future, is and they've done this in the comics. I'd imagine Superman's getting beat on by Guy Gardner, and Guy Gardner's being a dick, and then all of a sudden at the end of the panel, you see Batman with the Green Lantern ring just knocks his teeth out.
Yes. That'd be
Just
great.
comes
And
out of nowhere. Just like,
I really would
this
love to
ring
get
beat your ass.
the live action, like, Green Lantern realizing, like, Batman, like, you're just a guy, like, in a suit. Like, yeah. And he smiles, he just smirks. Like, give me that live action.
The two together are going to be iconic. Nathan Fillion in the scene with Batman's going to be hilarious. Like, oh my god, dude, he's going to be... No, I'm excited for more Lantern stuff because there's so much good Lantern stuff.
Oh, dude, I don't know anything about lanterns. Really, that's a whole thing I never dove into.
You gotta get into Lantern comics too, probably soon as well.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to be reading those soon because I want to do that just like with Supergirl. I want to get really... I hope we get some footage soon because once we start getting a trailer for Lanterns and get this picture of what we're getting, I think that we're going to really start to dive into the hype. In fact, I really do think, especially with us going in multiversal with Peacemaker right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we start teasing more intergalactic by the end of Peacemaker. Because remember, Peacemaker season 1 ended with us dealing with aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Then we jumped into multiverse. I could see a scenario towards the end, maybe headed into Man of Tomorrow, where we might go back to aliens a little bit, or at least intergalactic, cosmic things.
Maybe.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so they're like really. Does anyone know what's gonna happen in these last 3 episodes?
No, I heard even the
Or
publicists
last
weren't
4?
told. So I heard even his friends weren't told anything. Like none of his cast members.
Yeah.
Like they'd all been hush hush. So
And it's been such a good season that I feel like it's gonna get even better. I do, and I think it's
I'm
gonna be
trying
like
to
one of
keep
those
my mouth
shows.
shut because I've seen the trailer for episode 5 and I'm just waiting for episode 5. But I'm so excited because there's something that I've been waiting to happen since the season trailer was announced for this season. That's happening in this episode that I can't wait for. Because it's just been something that's been building that I've been waiting for,
Sure.
and I can't wait for it. And I know Kenna knows what I'm talking about. Which is pretty cool. Brandon says I have a theory for Dr. Doom. What's your theory? I'm curious. Speaking of which, that's something I didn't bring up to you yet. That I talked to with Kenna about on the phone. I heard that when Wanda's in Doomsday, I heard that it's not going to be the Wanda from Multiverse of Madness. I heard it's going to be a Wanda from the X-Men Earth that was in a world where Magneto and the Maximoff family ruled over Genosha.
Huh. So you're just straight evil Scarlet Witch. But didn't we kind of just have evil Scarlet Witch?
I don't know if she'll be evil because remember, Magneto's with the X-Men in this movie from the previous timeline that he came to. So if he's ruling Genosha, he's doing it to give a haven for mutants. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a
doesn't
villain.
mean that this timeline is going to be cool with that.
True. But
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if I've told Kenna this. The only way I think I see Wanda, because there was a new synopsis that came out for Doomsday, and I guess we can talk about this since we're talking all comic book things here. They're really building up the fact that Doom, every other time they've done Doom, they've done the whole science thing. And like you were talking about scientists in the DC universe, a lot of people are focused on the technology when it comes to Doctor Doom, but it seems like they really want to dive into the magic with Doctor Doom. Like, we knew light thing that happened.
I think we're just starting to see Marvel actually want to take on magic. Besides Doctor Strange, like that was really the only time we ever got to see it, and now it's like with Ironheart, we get a little bit of like, we got a little magic going, magic versus
honestly,
technology, which was cool.
I told people watching Ironheart that that's going to play into Doomsday, and nobody listened to me. I literally said, "Hey, you see this? Do you see how she's using magic and technology? That's going to play into Doctor Doom."
I hate how people they just wanted to hate on Ironheart, dude.
It was sad. What if Doctor Doom's armor in Avengers Doomsday is made up of adamantium, which is an upgrade from his first appearance? I mean, we saw kind of a version of an upgrade. I wouldn't be surprised at adamantium, considering he's not going to get just taken down by Wolverine or someone. So
yeah, he's going to have something like that.
He'll have upgrades. His entire arsenal is going to make Iron Man's arsenal look like a joke. That much I know. Because Doom is, for you guys who read the comics. That does remind me. Speaking of comics that we should read, because I know we talked about a lot about DC stuff we want to read. I want to start, especially with Doomsday, if it truly does come out in 2026. I want to start reading some Doom comics together for sure.
Oh hell yeah!
There's some good Doom stuff.
I would personally really love if we could read like the very kind of early Fantastic Four comics, and then that would be transition to Doom, obviously.
Yeah,
we could do that. I mean, we could. When it comes to early comics, it's a little weird because like you kind of don't need to read a ton of them.
Right. But, I'm not trying to say we need to read all. Yeah.
No, totally. Like, but we could throw some keys in, and then, like, if we want to do a huge Doom thing, like, it's very feasible to put a line of key Doctor Doom issues together, where it's like, here are all the Doom appearances for like the first 5 years of the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah,
could sprinkle in a
we
few
know in the
others
early,
if we wanted to, just to kind
we
of.
know in the early iterations that definitely is pretty accurate, and I think that would be really interesting. I saw a theory the other day too that ties into the Doctor Doom thing. You're right, Brandon, about Doom being very intelligent. You know that end credits scene in at the end of Thunderbolts, and we
Mhm.
see the Fantastic Four ship. A lot of
Yeah,
people believe that Doom is with the Fantastic Four in that scene when they're going to look for Franklin. So a lot of people think that Doom has been that we're going to see Reed and Doom kind of start as friends, and then it kind of falls apart.
I just love how that scene wasn't what everyone thought it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it's really unfortunate for Marvel that that's how that all played out because everybody was like, "All right, this is stupid."
Right. Yeah.
Like nobody
Yeah.
even got behind the hype of it because they should have kind of thought that one through a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
They should have done a
But
better job of
I mean,
setting it up.
that was literally me. I was like, wow, I really like Thunderbolts, and they're like, Fantastic Four is coming, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
yeah,
But
it's
then
like,
I watched the movie. I'm like, wow, this is really good.
and
I
it made
liked it better than Thunderbolts. I think Fantastic Four is better
oh,
than Thunderbolts.
agreed.
But
Eh,
yeah, definitely, I definitely do think it hurt people wanting to see it a
Oh
lot.
yeah, no, literally
Yeah,
the comic conspiracy I listened to, and they were like, "Dude, don't worry about the end credits scene. Just watch the movie. Don't think about it," because everybody was like, "Oh, now I know the ending, the Fantastic Four."
Yeah.
And it's like you don't actually at all.
they should have put that. They should have not had that end thing be so tied to like potential Fantastic Four things. They should have teased something else with the
Or
Right?
Thunderbolts.
not tease anything at all. Like, what if it was the first Marvel movie in a really long time that had no end credit scene, and you just,
Ooh,
you
like
stayed.
just leave.
Yeah, get out.
They just don't
That's
want. They just
the
don't
thing.
want to stay
Get
on.
out of the theater. Yeah.
The problem they've accepted is they think that their formula works, so they don't want to change it.
Well, it does. Just
That's the
saying.
problem.
Yeah.
They think because
that's been working for 30 movies? I don't understand.
yeah, they're like well we know certain people haven't been happy with what we're doing, but like when you really think of it, we struck gold so much, so let's just keep doing what people liked, and then it'll
They'll
work.
come back around. They'll come back around. We'll throw an event at them. Doomsday. You can't stay away. You have to see it. Everybody will have to see it.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like you're like trying to be the thing right now.
A little bit, I guess it did sound that way. And I also just hate how God, I cannot remember the thing's love interest name her in
Yeah.
that movie.
The
Yeah.
teacher. Like
Yeah, and it's like, why are you not blind? Why
Oh.
are you not blind? You should be blind.
Honestly, it didn't bother me because I think it makes the romance stronger of like, okay, because usually, like, because they were using the blind girl in the way of like, oh, she doesn't see what he looks like, but she loves him for who he is. But I would say I feel like that's stronger with someone who is able to see what he actually looks like and still is attracted to him for who he is rather than how he looks.
I hear that.
Yeah.
For me, I guess there was just one part of it in particular that it just really hit me, where it's like he knows she's blind, and he is afraid of turning back into human after a little while because he thinks that she won't love him the same.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows she's blind. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and I just think that makes it even more powerful. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I
Like,
think they're both good.
in a way. No, it's good either way, believe me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
I always like that dynamic of it. And it was like, oh, like it kind of hit me in another way where it was like, oh, Marvel really did have blind representation back in the day. Like, there was her, there's Daredevil. Like, you actually had blind characters in the world. And I feel like that's like not a thing in anything normally. Like, I can't think of
That's true.
DC characters that are blind or Lord of the Ring characters that are blind or any IP for that matter. You know what I mean? With
From
Huh.
Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender, but that's that's an animated.
Right, and or Mortal Kombat, I guess, with what's
Yeah,
his face?
DC character who's blind.
Yeah, that's not really a thing, like, and
I feel like one does exist. but just
It
not.
was
I
just
feel
like crazy to me that you had like two of them, you know, like in
I feel
Marvel
like there is
early
a blind.
days,
I feel like there
the
is a
same
blind
time.
DC character. Yeah, I guess gotta think what it is.
So I don't
But
know.
no, yeah,
Maybe some.
that's a great point. I mean, I don't know if you read the storyline, but there's an arc where Daredevil actually gets to experience his pain again because instead of it happening to him, his sidekick in one of the comics, when they really started diving into Muse in the newer comics,
Yeah.
Muse in the comics compared to Muse in the show is way more twisted and
Oh yeah.
insane, even on like a Joker level, where like he literally like pokes out the eyes of Daredevil's sidekick in front of him and makes him like just makes his opponent or his Daredevil's teammate, like his protege, like his Robin, blind, and it's kind of crazy. Like so, yeah, there definitely is. There's some pretty cool blind stuff. I mean, you got Stick in there, played a big role in
Right. Stick
Defenders.
too.
Yeah, so Stick's pretty big. Yeah, I wish I could remember. I feel like there is one. I'm trying.
I really want to. Well, the thing that's like coming into my mind is like I remember seeing like I can't remember their names, but DC does a thing where they have these characters and like they're blind in one eye, but I
Sure. I mean,
but
Cable for Marvel in that case.
oh yeah, but like I swear to God,
I
But
mean,
he's more of a
have,
cyborg. He's
Slade,
not blind.
technically
I think.
Slade, but Slade's not blind because he can use the other eye.
see, yeah,
So
it's
I
got to
would
be both
say,
eyes.
uh,
Got to be both
yeah,
eyes.
I would say, yeah, he can see, but it's not like the same as like a regular person with completely 20/20 vision.
All right, here we go.
You looked it up.
So yeah, I did.
Okay.
Several blind characters in DC, most notably Doctor Mind Knight.
Okay, so it's characters we haven't even
Or
started
sorry,
here.
Doctor Midnight, not Mind
Oh,
Knight.
I know Doctor Midnight. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Was one of the first superheroes with a physical impairment, and the villain Crazy Quilt. Other blind hero characters include the hero Blind Fury, villainous member of Aryan Brigade, Blind Faith.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm only familiar with Doctor
some
Midnight.
very obscure
But
choices.
even then, I don't know much about him. I just know I recognize the name.
This is
I
one of the
like how
reasons
somebody of the Aryan
heroes.
Brigade is called Blind Faith. That's a nice little.
It's a hero who is blind. Being a hero is such a unique thing that we don't get enough of. Yeah, that's true, Melissa. It's really interesting. I mean, the fact that they took I kind of think of it similar to like I think a lot of people when they look at the mutants in Marvel, they think about the fact that they have these really cool powers, right? But if you look at the X-Men movies and you even look at the comics, the mutants kind of look at their powers that they're given, their gifts, if you will, as kind of something that kind of makes them feel that it either hinders them or they don't know how to control it because it's something so foreign to them. And it's very interesting. Like
Yeah, they do.
I've always looked at the X-Men as like having powers. Like you look at a character like Rogue, it's almost like having a disability where you feel like you have something that makes you different and makes you an outsider from other people.
Anyway,
Right.
that's like the whole
I think
point.
Marvel's always done a good job at that specifically.
Yeah, with inclusion. Yeah.
DC seems to be more of like God powered. You know what I mean? And like
They are god powered. They definitely have some characters, but nothing like crazy. I mean, they have some human moments with some
no,
characters.
they do, and even with characters like Superman, they manage to,
Yeah.
you know, like so they do a good job with it. But
Yeah, I think
it's,
they're realizing they're going to apply to more
there's
human
so
nature type characters
there's
because
so many more blind characters in Marvel. Oh my god! Just like pulling up a list is like Daredevil, Blindfold. There's there's storylines where people go blind, like Dagger, Destiny, Old Man Hawkeye, where he starts to
I
lose
remember
his
Old Man
vision.
Hawkeye. That's right. I forgot about
I heard. Did I hear he's coming to Marvel Rivals or something? He's coming to
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in
something.
Marvel
in the
Rivals.
battle pass.
He's in the battle pass. I have
Oh,
him
that's what
already.
it is. Yeah, right.
And
I
not
can't
only
wait to
what
get
I
that.
like about Old Man Hawkeye, and I think it's included in the skin, but he has hearing aids in too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Echo is deaf. I didn't know that.
Oh. Echo
Yeah,
is deaf.
actually,
Echo is deaf and has a prosthetic limb. Yeah,
Oh, really?
I really liked the Echo TV show.
So yeah, like
Really
Marvel
liked
actually has tried very hard to be inclusive over the years in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
you know,
Echo's pretty
that I
cool.
don't think they always get credit for. But
People don't credit Echo a lot, but I like Echo.
people,
People
and I saw this
appreciate
on a video today, and I think it's so true. It's just like people are so quick to hate and so slow to forgive, and
Mhm.
like it just, especially with the stuff we talk about, where like whether it's comics or comic book movies, like when it comes to comics specifically, there's a run, Superior Spider-Man, and it's about Doc Ock switching his consciousness with Spider-Man. So like he is Spider-Man and Spider-Man is Doc Ock, like Freaky Friday. And like people shat on it so much when it was coming out. Quick to hate, quick to hate. But then by the time it was over and we were on to like the next thing, everybody's like, you know what? That was a really good story. It's like slow to forgive, and I just think it's all over the place all the time. So
People hate on the really dark Spider-Man storyline too, where MJ dies,
yeah,
and then Peter makes a deal to bring her back.
right. Brand new day.
Yeah, which
Or one more day, right?
they're never gonna properly adapt ever because Marvel can never go to that level. But
Yeah, they're not willing to get dark like that.
no, that's too dark. I don't know. Like I'd love to see them do it, but I don't think they could. Like you'd have to do something like an extensive spotlight, even with things like Deadpool and stuff. You have to do something where you really like sold it as an extreme R rating.
And then like, dude, characters with like one eye. It's like Nick Fury, Odin, Thor at one point. Like, there's so many that touch on stuff like even just looking this up has made me realize how inclusive Marvel really is. Like, and that's before they were trying to push that down everyone's throat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
well, back at the time, they wanted to actually show, like, they were trying to show that those were cool things
Right.
that can happen, or like,
And that was kind of the point of Marvel in the beginning too. It was showing different walks of life in a lot of ways,
Mhm.
And like you got your Black Panther and you got your like whoever.
Yeah, literally.
Aquaman, not Aquaman. Oh my god.
And Namor.
You and Namor.
But like, and
And
then
we
you look
can't
at
even get a Blade movie.
or Storm. You know what I mean? And like you
Oh,
look
love
at
Storm.
X-Men and you get the X-Men 97 cartoon. Like you should watch the early seasons, Kenna, because like there's one episode that's specifically about Storm, and it is very well done, and like it's in Africa for the most part. And I just think like culturally it's a really cool episode where it's like this is different and feels different from the rest of the show, and they don't do shit like this no more. Like they
or
just
they're too scared to, or they don't do it.
yeah. Oh, cultural appropriation. We're gonna get judged for
Really,
doing it.
you found it overrated, Walking Dead expert? That's interesting. You're talking about Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you brought that up, Luke, because you know what I was going to mention when we were talking about the X-Men cartoons. Kenneth, I forget. Did you watch X-Men Evolution?
No, it's been on my list to watch it.
I've never seen it.
I never watched
Evolution has a really good arcs where they introduce some characters that are not as familiar and really do some really unique things. And also something they don't include in a lot of the X-Men storylines as often, especially because we're used to her being mostly tied to Avengers. The version of Wanda in that show and Pietro is very interesting.
I will also say, even though I haven't actually fully watched it, I've seen some things, and I think that Jean Grey in that show is one of her better portrayals of her character, I feel like.
Oh, great. You know who else really good in that show? Kitty Pryde in that show is
Oh yeah, Kitty Pryde. The
amazing.
only thing that I don't like about X-Men Evolution, because the thing about X-Men Evolution is that they actually have the X-Men as like teenagers in the Charles Xavier like high school, and they make Rogue. They make Rogue like this. She's a teen, but she's like emo-ish, which isn't bad in itself because it's just a different take. But then they have Gambit as an adult who's older than the rest of them, and so
I think
I'm
when
like,
they made that show, they were trying to do something.
Predator.
yeah.
Get out of here, Gambit.
Yeah, literally, it's like, no, why would you do this to my Gambit and Rogue? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when they did it, and if I remember correctly, in that series, I don't think Rogue and Gambit ever properly get together in that series.
no, they never do. But like, they still kind of keep his like flirty, his flirtatious personality.
Yeah, they were trying to build it up.
And sometimes it came across the wrong way than I think they intended.
Well, I think one of the problems that I think they were trying to do is that was in an era like you like so much, where similar to Loki and stuff, Gambit's kind of more. He's not a villain, but he's kind of a bad guy in that series. Where
that's also another thing that I don't like. I know that Gambit has a rough past, but he's never been evil. He's just kind of been like a petty criminal.
Yeah, he doesn't do evil things. It's more like he's still a criminal, but they dial in on it a lot more, so you see what kind of criminal things he does, and so then you kind of see, oh, okay, he's kind of a criminal in this iteration, and like they don't make him seem like a hero, and I think that's something that's hard for people to kind of accept.
Yeah, and I get that, but like
he doesn't do anything that I think that makes him a villain. I think that he definitely.
It's just like it's just a different take, and sometimes though, even though at the end of the day it's just a different take, it's not like, because that's the biggest problem that I have when people are like, they're ruining my character because they're doing this to them, and I'm just like, well, not exactly. It's just a different take, and at the end of the day, you can still go back and look at the older, previous versions of that character if it really bothers you that much. So
I like how that show dives into one of my favorite aspects of that show is they dive heavily into Nightcrawler and Mystique. Being related to each other, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, no, it definitely has good moments. But again, like I said, like even though I don't care for how they did their take on like Rogue and Gambit, I know at the end of the day that's not their definitive version, and
Yeah.
Well,
I really like
everyone like Mystique is like mom to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
I like that. I also like that in that series, instead of Wolverine having the normal blue and yellow costume, he's got an orange one, which is kind of a new take. I kind of liked that. And then I love the relationship between Cyclops and Jean in that show.
Oh wait, no, Mystique is usually Nightcrawler's mother, right?
Yeah.
Do they make them siblings in the show, or do you mean to say that Rogue?
Their relationship is more fleshed out.
Oh, they're just relationship in general. Sorry,
yeah.
I thought you were saying that they became siblings. I'm like,
no. They do the mother thing, but they do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just got confused. That's all.
No, yeah, they do the mother thing, and they bring it into an interesting.
I was like, oh my god.
What were you
Mommy
looking at?
Mystique? Then she turns into dad. You're like, oh.
Dang.
Dude, imagine if Mystique was like actually like a good parent. It would be really funny. She's like, go ask your dad.
Right. Yeah. You can make a lot of parenthood jokes. So yeah, all kinds of jokes. Mystique.
I really like how they do Magneto in that series, because Magneto barely ever shows his face. They do this really cool thing where they make him kind of a scary, ominous figure. So he has the helmet, but you see his eyes, and so it makes him kind of look kind of creepy.
Yeah, there's a lot of TV shows, a lot of things that I need to watch, but right now I gotta focus on Peacemaker and Demon Slayer.
Right now, our priority is Demon Slayer.
You really want to do, you really want to taste it.
Wow. Oh, Julian, it's a hungry world.
Yeah, I like the new intro. It's not as catchy, sure, but I like it a bit.
I think it fits more the theme of the season, so I think it works really well.
Yeah,
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Yeah.
I just never thought I'd see Frank Grillo be dancing, so I think that's so funny.
Yeah, sure.
I've been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine recently, and I found Tim Meadows. Like, oh, that's where I know this guy from. That's hilarious.
Is, who is he on Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
He was the guy that was in prison with what's that character? The lead character, played by Andy Samberg. Jake, I think is his name. He there's a season where he goes to prison, and this is like the cannibal that's in prison with him, which is it's just
Oh
funny.
yeah, I kind of do remember that. Yeah, I never watched the final season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I think like when Halo Infinite came out, is
It's
when
pretty good.
I just was like
There's
playing Halo Infinite.
there's a scene in this
watching Brooklyn
episode
Nine-Nine.
between Tim Meadows and John Economos. When you watch this episode, Luke, that you're gonna absolutely lose it over. You're gonna love it.
Probably. Tim Meadows has been just such a joy, just absolutely amazing on this season. He's making everybody laugh so much. Like
He's my favorite character right now.
He's killing it, dude.
other than
Bird
Peacemaker.
blindness, man.
I
Bird
can't get over
blindness.
the. I was telling Kenna the other day. I really want what like they were on the podcast talking about them having face-offs with characters like the cast. I really got to see a scene in the future with Hawk Girl and Langston.
Hawk Girl. So that's how they should show off Hawkman for the first time too, and then like the next one is just Hawkman, and like Tim Meadows is just like really.
Wait, is this a duck man? Like what's going on? We duck? The Robin Man? What's going on?
Good, dude. It's
Oh,
so
man.
funny. I
That
can't.
would be
And
so funny.
did Eagly have his like one-on-one yet? I don't. Probably not, right? In number 4.
With the bird blindness or
Yeah,
the
the eagle hunter.
Oh, they didn't have a 1v1, but like he definitely did try to get him, but
Yeah, they dive deeper into. We get more of Michael Rooker in episode 4.
Yeah, Michael Rooker's really funny. He has these really funny scenes with Economos in episode 4. I'll say that.
Is that the eagle guy?
The Eagle guy is Michael Rooker, yeah. So Michael Rooker and John Economos have a really good thing. My favorite thing
I have to
ever,
work with
though,
this piece of shit.
I think my favorite thing ever with Peacemaker is like I love all the characters in the show. I love all the journeys they're going with. I just feel I relate to John the most more than anyone because I love John in season 1. Just like Peacemaker won't stop calling me fucking Diebeard. I can't take it. Season 2, yes, I'm not Diebeard anymore. I don't have to worry about Peacemaker. No one's gonna call me any more names. I'm just Economos. I'm just Economos working for Argus. Everything is good. Hey, Ginger, cool.
Yeah, but didn't he punched him in the face or something, right? In episode 3, right? He was like, "Don't fucking call me Ginger Cool." He's like, "Oh shit!" Kind of must stand up for himself.
He like spits in his face.
That's what it was.
There's 2 episodes he spits in his face, and his reaction is so funny. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Who spits in someone's face? Drop it.
Yeah,
I love how Hawk Woman's just like, shut up.
Dude, the clips are going crazy everywhere for that scene.
I
I've
really-
seen it 5 times.
I really like the scene where it was after the failure of the first mission to get into Peacemaker's house, and he's like, he told me it was a duck, not an eagle. He's taking advantage of my bird blindness. Can you believe this, man? He's taking advantage of someone who has a severe case. Like it's.
He literally walks out and he's like, "I literally said it was an eagle."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I don't even know where you got duck from.
Yeah.
That show's still funny.
That show's great.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't get over his intro episode where he walks into the van and sees Johnny Carlos watching Adrian Chase on the camera and just being like, "Who's that?" He's like, "That motherfucker. He take all the Pokemon."
Looks like he caught all the Pokemon. Yeah.
He said he like makes it plural, like Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon.
Because it's all the Pokemon, and he's like, Pokemon doesn't have.
Yeah,
I
James
was
Gunn
getting
said
my
that this
dick
done-
sucked. It's like, all right, we get a
James
very
Gunn said
good
that
idea of who he is right off the bat.
Mhm.
James Gunn said that casting this role I think his name is Langston Fleury.
Yeah,
It literally took him so long to get this character right because getting that comedic timing was so hard. Like, and then he just
I
asked
bet.
his friend, like, "We blew our budget because John Economos asked for a raise, so we need you. we need you to actually we need you to come in, bro. Can you do it?" I guess they're really good friends, and he's like, "I respect you as an actor, but I kind of need a favor, bro." And I guess Michael Rooker came into Peacemaker as like just a favorite of James Gunn. Just like, I don't know how much you get paid, but bro, I hooked you up with Guardians. You got me right.
Come be
That's
this
what
Eagle guy.
Yeah, that's what I really like about what James Gunn is doing for his DC characters is that unlike Marvel and Marvel doing like variants of these characters or whatever, I really like how even though he was that I forgot his name, but in Suicide Squad he was the one who uh, with the long white hair. He dies anyway, but like
Yeah, in the beginning of the movie.
yeah, he comes, but he doesn't just be like, okay, that was your only job, like you're done. Like he brings them back as these characters, and even though I can obviously tell, even though he's the Eagle Hunter, I can obviously tell that's Michael Rooker, like that's Yondu, and so and so. It doesn't take me out of it, like because
Uh-huh.
the acting is good,
Right.
obviously,
And
but
he cast them correctly still.
yeah,
It's not just like trying to throw people in.
mm-hmm,
Where sometimes I can feel what Joe means when he says that about Dune.
mm-hmm.
Where like it does feel like a lot of MCU actors like thrown in. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. Yes and no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On that
They're
one.
good actors, so it works.
Right. I think it works for the most part. If it were like Tom Holland instead of Timothy Chalamet, then maybe I might be sitting there with
Honestly, in
that.
the
But
world that we live in, I'm shocked that Tom Holland didn't end up being Zelda for the Legend of Zelda
Or I
franchise.
mean, Link,
Link,
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
so
shocked he
glad.
didn't end up as Link just because of
I
all
never
the
like that.
franchises that he's been
I'm not.
jumping.
I'm not anti Tom Holland, but when
Oh,
that
yeah.
was being thrown around, I'm like, no, no.
I know that's why I think it's funny that it didn't happen because all the buzz around him, you would have thought just because Hollywood's stupid like that, and you could expect things to happen like that. It would have been really funny. Just the fact that, I mean, I still think I don't know how they would do this because he'd be super young. After Uncharted, I'm starting to think that I won't be shocked if Tom Holland walks around being the new James Bond because they keep like literally they keep literally like pushing the narrative of like him being in all these different roles and just like and all these studios keep saying that they want him and stuff. So
No.
I know I don't want it either. I don't want it either, man. I'm just saying. I just know that's what Hollywood wants right now.
No.
This is gonna sound like crazy, but he said in an interview if he were to become a father, he would retire from acting, and I'm kind of like,
Oh my
okay,
God! Somebody
you-
put a baby in that girl right now, and like,
Zendaya.
just convince him it's his baby, please, somebody. Oh my God!
Well, they had to push back their wedding. They're engaged. They had to push back their wedding because they're both busy filming for many different things. Like their schedule is busy, but they're getting married soon. So, I mean, I think it will be a while until they actually do have kids together. But I see it happening though. I totally see it happening.
Yeah, it definitely is going to happen eventually.
Or maybe he'll be like, "Let me be James Bond, and then I'll retire."
Idris Elba should be James Bond.
That'd be
Elba,
awesome.
yeah, I would love that.
Yep.
I don't have much to really say about the Bond series because I never watched any of them. I know that if I sat down, I would like them. I've always been more of Austin.
I want one of the picks that was being tossed around before. I want Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's who I want.
Wait, you mean wait? Who?
Aaron
Aaron
Taylor.
Taylor Johnson,
Oh, okay.
guy from Bullet Train.
Okay, no, I haven't seen it.
Brad Pitt. Also, Craven the Lion Hunter for Sony.
Oh, right.
Dude, that was
We
great
need a
to
new Craven that hunts
Oh, yeah.
CEOs.
Yeah, I think it's so funny that Aaron, he was in Craven, which was bad, but then I really liked him in Nosferatu. I really liked his acting there and his
Yeah, he was
character.
good in that movie.
It's just so funny
I
that those
forgot
came
that
out
I
near the same
forgot that
time.
he was in that.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
just funny that
I
those
feel
movies
like it
came out.
focuses on you focus on Skarsgård and the other people.
Well, I'm focused more on Lily Depp and Nicholas Holt.
Yeah, Nicholas
Yeah.
Hoult was great. Lily Depp
Oh,
looks great. That could be
I did love what's her name? She played she's known her two big roles is that she played the evil twin sister of Charles Xavier in Wolverine and Deadpool, but she also played in the drama / kind of biopic of The Crown, where she played Princess Diana. I forgot her name. She played the wife of Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, and I really liked them both. I think it was a very good cast movie.
I think that
But
was
yeah.
the first time I saw her with hair.
Well, I mean, it was the second time that I saw her with hair because I knew her as Princess Diana for
Right.
her movie. But yeah, she was actually honestly okay. Deadpool and Wolverine. Gonna talk about it for a second. I really liked her as the villain, but near the end of like how they defeated her, looking back on it, I'm like, I don't know, it could have been better. I don't know really. I don't really have a specific like solution, but I really
It was
liked.
a cool idea on paper doing Charles Xavier's sister for a villain,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what was really interesting? She was not the first idea they kicked around.
Oh, who were they gonna
They
do?
wanted Magneto at first.
Oh,
Like that
I
was what
like
they
that they did.
originally.
It's Cassandra Nova. It was actually one of the earliest X-Men comics that I ever read. So for
Yeah,
me, I was like, "Oh, fucking cool! They did Cassandra Nova," but
yeah.
they
I mean it's cool
didn't
they did Cassandra
do.
Nova. I think it's cool that they did it.
I wish they did the whole like shoot Xavier in the head thing though. Like,
Yeah, that's what my biggest problem with Deadpool and Wolverine is that the background information they kind of just glaze over. Where
Hmm.
I feel like in that movie, obviously it depends on like what kind of thing you're trying to do in your story, but I definitely do think Deadpool and Wolverine would have been better if we actually saw what they were talking about. Because my biggest critique of that movie is Wolverine himself, the one that he teams up with, where he's like, he's the worst Wolverine because he let the X-Men die. And I'm like, okay. I feel like there's more to that, but whatever. Like I feel like there's worse Wolverines out there than that because I don't
I
know. I
feel
just
like they
you
feel like
mean
just
the
he
pointed to
tried
that
all
scene.
his might to try to save them and couldn't do it still? Like,
I
that's
feel they
probably what
planted that
happened.
seed just because they want to push him with the X-Men in Doomsday.
well, yeah, it's all for Doomsday, but even
Hmm.
then, it would have been. I also understand like my thing was like, oh, I wish we actually got to like see the X-Men die from his Earth. Like we actually saw it.
Ah,
But I also understand that, like, well, that would mean they would have to get all the Fox X-Men back. Like, they could only get Hugh Jackman. And like, but the
That's not
workaround,
what the story was. You know what I
no,
mean?
yeah, the workaround is really just like have the backs of them, or just like have their, I don't know, bodies piled up, and you don't see the faces. Like, just get
Sure.
extras or
if they
stuff.
didn't have to act in that scene, they were just in one scene where they just get obliterated by something. Then they could have just done stunt doubles and just like had
I
them.
think it's fun though when stories give us the little bit of imagination to play with. You know what I mean? Where it's
Mhm.
like, how did they die? Well, that's kind of up to you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like that's not really so important as much as they're dead. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, and
All we
the
really need
White
to know is that it's
Lotus.
really affecting Wolverine. That's really the number one thing is that it affects Wolverine so much.
Sure,
yeah,
and I mean, it's
emotionally, yeah.
just the fact that he let them die. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a little bit more detail in the way of like how hard he tried might be helpful, but
Right.
like when it comes to how the fight went and everything, I don't think that's so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. No.
Um,
Yeah.
wh-
I don't need to see the X-Men fighting like Sentinels in that scene, but
sure,
that's like what like okay, well did because the way I mean I would have to rewatch it, but like Wolverine kind of let it seem like he was out at the moment. He wasn't
Yeah,
there when the attack happened. Like again, like
right.
what did he do to like? I mean, he didn't even really try because he just wasn't there. Um, Yeah.
Um, so like one thing I was gonna say was White Lotus season 3. There's a part at the end of the season where it kind of been building up to this point for these characters for a while. And then when it finally happens of what they've built up for, what you've been kind of waiting for, they don't actually show it like at all. They just give you like the very, very beginning of it and then kind of just cut it out and let you kind of decide how it goes in your own head. And like people hated that so much. And when I got the autograph from the guy, I kind of was like, like I really liked how they did that actually. Like for me, I thought it was cool. I don't know. I like it
They
when
didn't
certain
like the
things.
little breadcrumbs.
Yeah, you know
Well,
what I mean?
I feel like when you're doing any like a movie or a TV show, when it's very like mystery, kind of like there's something secret going on, and you don't know
Right. It's the
the
theme.
answer to it. Yeah, but I also feel like no matter what the answer is, there's always going to be people who are disappointed by the answer.
So true.
So, like,
I think
yeah,
that show has been a little different though, where it's not. It's been very satisfying, I think, for a lot of people, like season after season. So maybe that's part of why, now that people have liked it as much as they have, it's like season 3's here. It's been really good, and then it ends the way it does,
right, yeah.
and then people are like, "Wah!"
Yeah,
So
but again, like even though like I that also I feel like is with endings too. Even if it's like a really good ending, I swear there's always people who are like, yeah, but we wanted more.
yep. Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
except some Breaking Bad.
Yeah, obviously there's few except there's
Yeah,
some.
people just get a little crazy over like what they wanted more of. They don't just let the creativity to play out. They just sometimes they
Breaking
want more of
Bad
something.
I've
was
been on.
so good.
Yeah.
We were all happy with it, and then Vince Gilligan was like, "Hey, here's El Camino." And it was like, oh my god, what? And then that was really good. I mean, it's sort of that one's a little, but like
Sometimes
it's
you
still
get that kind
really
of
well
feeling.
made.
You're like, oh, how does this work? Do we get things like this? Does this work?
It's crazy, and then then you get Better Call Saul. So
So I think we should wrap up soon because I want to play
yeah,
Rivals. I don't know about you guys, but
and I'm trying to go live and set
Yeah,
up my dude. So
yeah.
yeah,
I think we said what we needed to say.
yeah, I think it was a good show. I'm very happy with the results. I think we're gonna get
actually, I
before we
really want
leave.
to dive into early DC versus early MCU
Yeah.
days.
So before we leave, let's make this discussion. We can talk about it individually as we play Rivals as well. What's if for our next comic book episode? What do you guys want to do next? What should we read next?
I mean, I'm totally down. Like Luke said, we can read like early stuff for DC or
Well,
Marvel.
Luke picked All Star Superman, so I think we'll let you pick the next thing, Kenna.
Oh gosh, but I don't even. I mean,
Or you could pick Joe. It gives
yeah,
kind of
you can
another
pick.
week.
I could pick something.
My only guess would be, or choices is like if we're gonna do an early Marvel comic, I would love to do some issue of Fantastic Four, maybe specifically when Invisible Woman becomes Malice, like the Malice storyline.
That'd be cool. If we're gonna do Fantastic Four, especially with Marvel Rivals, things like that, that'd be interesting.
And then for DC, since we did early Superman, I wouldn't mind. We could do Batman, or we could do Green Arrow, or we
What,
could
Golden
do
Age
or
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Silver Age?
or either one, Golden Age or Silver Age. Either way, I'm down.
I'm down for an early Fantastic Four story. I personally, we're gonna read Fantastic Four. I know you want to read the Malice thing. I would like to read original Jack Kirby, where Panther joins with the Fantastic Four in his first
That'd be cool.
iteration. Because I
Yeah.
think the Panther stuff with Storm and Panther is really good stuff, and I think that'd be kind of fun.
I'm thinking. I know the whole point of like the kind of our comic book club is that we're all reading the same thing, obviously, and we discuss it. But I think maybe sometimes we pick like a theme, but we can pick different issues, and then we can all three of us go in depth of what obviously we like Fantastic Four, but I would read the Malice one, and you would read the Black
Well,
Panther.
Let's keep the same theme. Let's do something interesting as an experiment for the next show. Okay. So I've changed my mind a little bit. So we can still do a Marvel Zombies theme and keep it Marvel related somewhat, right? But here's what I'm thinking. All of us pick an early Fantastic Four comic that fits around the same theme to read, and then each of us talk about it, and then we can all kind of take turns discussing our thoughts on that Fantastic
Or
Four.
even just go straight Fantastic Four. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
just straight, yeah.
I'm almost thinking like if you guys want to do something early, I'm almost thinking like I would like to pick a run from the 2010s. Like I know there's a super popular run then that was written by Jonathan Hicks. You know that
We could definitely do Fantastic Four. I think, especially since we focused on this time because of the hype of Superman, it would be a natural course to jump into Fantastic Four next because that's the other next big thing that's now being recognized. We have a good Fantastic
For sure.
Four movie. People
and then we
generally
could kind
love.
of work backwards and maybe do a Thunderbolts
I would.
comic.
I've never read any Thunderbolts comics. I'd like to read Thunderbolts. I'd
Right,
be
me
curious.
either.
I'd like to
And
see what the teams were like in the comics.
and then like maybe Red Hulk and like Black Cap could do that too. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so my thing is, so we decided that we're doing a Fantastic Four comic. Are we going to all read the 2010s run, or like what's the like? Or
I mean, it sounds like you guys are just talking about a couple key issues. You know what I mean? Like the Malice one's probably a run. That might be 5 or 6 issues.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then Joe's talking about probably a 2 or 3 issue run. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like just to, I don't know how long he actually sticks around, but usually that's how that goes. If it's
So,
a guest
So what I'm
starring
asking
type of deal.
Are we all okay with like we're all gonna read a Fantastic Four story, but are we good that we're kind of picking different times? That
I think we should read all 3. All 3 of us
All
should
three?
read all 3, to be honest. That
All
way
right.
we have like a little bit to talk about and everything. We can kind of jump around and play off of them, and that
All
gives
I
right.
you
think
like
that's a good idea. I
it
think
gives you a
we
little
should
bit more to talk about rather than being stuck on one book. It's like one thing we were doing with All Star Superman is we're relating it to everything that's going on right now in the MCU and the DCU.
Yep.
Where it's like if you can kind of relate it back to into comics a little bit because we just read a few others, that would be good too.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
totally
that idea.
reading all 3, the Malice, Black Panther, and
Yeah, it's only like 3 runs. It's probably like at the end of the day, 18 issues. It's not that bad for a week.
We could read three different runs and discuss them. I think that'd be a fun idea. Because I'd be curious because other than seeing her skin in Marvel Rivals, I really don't know too much about like McKenna. You were the one that really explained to me.
Yeah, I know the Malice lore.
Because I know Marvel stuff, but I grew up when it comes to Marvel. I read Spider-Man, I read Captain America, I read Avengers, I read Daredevil, I read Iron Man. That was my Iron Man, and I read Moon Knight. Those were my Marvel stuff, and then I guess a little bit of Punisher goes in with the Daredevil stuff, and then of course the X-Men. But like when people were reading like you think like reading like stuff with Malice and Fantastic Four, when I was started getting into comics, I only wanted to read Batman and Nightwing. That was my obsession. I have all the detective comics. I read New 52 Batman. I read the old Batman Golden Age stuff. I was a Batman kid. I had all the issues. I actually was mad because I went to a Comic-Con a while ago, and I don't know what happened to this set, but I had a signed set of the entire Ra's al Ghul early 70s Batman run, and it's been just gone, just missing.
Oh no!
And I'm super bummed because
That sucks.
I love that.
I'm sure it's in storage somewhere, or it's been donated.
Yeah, I gotta find it because I definitely gotta read that run.
All
I want to
right.
read that run for Brave and the Bold if I can find another.
All right,
copy.
Legionnaires.
Yeah.
We're getting out. All right, guys. We'll see you all on Rivals then.
Yeah, I'll hop
Yes,
on.
we're gonna go live. Anybody who's still watching, Joe is gonna be live here. Jedi, great. Well, actually, Captain Multiverse.
Captain Multiverse,
And I will be going live for the first time in a long
Yes,
time.
we're gonna be going live playing Rivals. So come join us, guys.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for watching another episode of Legions. Episode 30 has concluded. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah,
Have a great
Join
day.
the Discord, Joe. Join the Discord. You too, Kenna.
Wait,
Yep.
I'm in the Discord. Your Discord?
Yeah, just like I jump in
yeah.
the voice
I
chat
mean-
if you guys are trying to talk, because
Yeah.
I won't be
Yeah.
able to. I need a minute to set up my stream before I actually
Yeah, we can
start
jump
my
into
stream. so.
we can jump into Discord. I'll be there.
All right.
Sounds
Well,
good.
See
You guys.
y'all later.
All right.
Or
Yep,
right
see you
after.
in a
Yeah.
little bit. Yep, right after.